He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people, and he professed and confessed to be a demon.
You was dead, bro.
He could have killed me a couple times.
I was happy as hell when I found out Vaughn was dead.
What if your voice was stolen? Your music sold without a single credit? What if your own family hid a royal bloodline from you? And what if Hollywood's biggest names tried to erase you but failed every single time? This isn't some twisted movie plot, people. This is S's story, and it's about to blow the lid off the entire entertainment industry. After decades of silence, betrayals, and near-death experiences, S is finally coming forward. And get this, her story landed on Snoop Dogg's desk twice. We're talking stolen identity, a deeper celebrity connection than you can even imagine, and something far, far darker happening behind the scenes. S claims she was never meant to make it this far, but now she's here to speak. And what she reveals might just change how you see Hollywood forever. So, who is S? She didn't grow up thinking she was special. In fact, she says her family history was basically a secret. All she knew was her mom's side were Cherokee Indian healers from a small village. Sounds quaint, right? Wrong. Years later, S uncovers a bombshell. Her great-great-grandfather was King Henry VI. Yes, that Henry VI. She believes her royal bloodline was deliberately hidden and that her own family may have worked to steal her inheritance and erase her identity. And while she's just trying to live a normal life, strange things start happening. Her boyfriend vanishes, people around her get sick, but she doesn't. S begins to suspect she has something powerful inside her, something that not only keeps her alive, but makes her a target. She says Hollywood was watching her, and not in a good way. One day, everything changes. S claims she found out people were assigned to follow her. She believes some were connected to her ex-boyfriend, who just poof disappeared. But it gets wilder. S says people came into her life under false pretenses. Some tried to poison her. Others, she says, tried to sabotage her health and her career. And it wasn't random, it was targeted. They were studying her, wondering, why isn't she sick like the rest of them? Her answer? Because she's a healer. She claims that for over 30 years, people profited from her voice, her story, her creations. She made music, including a track called 50 Shades, and those songs were taken, remixed, repackaged, and sold under someone else's name, without her consent. Without payment, here's where your jaw will hit the floor. S claims her story somehow landed on the desks of Snoop Dogg, LL Cool J, and others. According to her, they knew who she was, but stayed silent. And get this, S says LL Cool J didn't just hear her story. He pulled up to her home, twice, in a white Porsche, white outfit, white Kango hat. He didn't say a word, just watched. To S, this wasn't a coincidence. It was surveillance. She believes he might be connected to the now infamous Puffy case, and that what's being shown to the public is just the surface.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
S says LL is hiding in the background, but very much involved. And so are others. S claims she worked behind the scenes with major stars like 50 Cent, Drake, Chris Brown, Snoop Dogg, and more. But over time, she says she sensed something darker. She now believes these celebrities may be part of a larger circle, one involved in controlling, silencing, and in some cases, eliminating artists they see as threats. S doesn't just claim betrayal, she claims they tried to end her. Not once, not twice, 17 times. 17 separate incidents where she believes her life was deliberately put in danger through poisonings, car crashes, setups, and covert attacks designed to look like accidents or natural causes.
Rappers who confess to unaliving someone in their songs.
She walk out, she stop in the trash, she get the stuff in back, and I hit smack. This big goofy nigga, he pulling her tracks up now. I'm like, I hopped out so quick, then I raise my blick and I don't miss.
She describes being in a car accident, and 20 seconds later, her phone rings. Someone she barely knew asks, "Are you okay?" How did he know? S says that was the moment it all clicked. She was being tracked, timed, monitored down to the second. She believes an assistant to a well-known music executive was involved, and the entire thing was orchestrated. She believes they tried to make her the next Eazy-E, the next Whitney, the next name added to that long, suspicious list of sudden deaths in the industry that never quite made sense. But S lived over and over again. She calls her survival unnatural. She says she was protected by something bigger. And now she's not just talking, she's naming names. According to S, survival wasn't her only burden. The real weight came from what she knew and who she knew. She says she was deeply involved, uncredited, unseen, but watching everything. She claims her voice was used, her lyrics taken, her concepts lifted, all while her name was deliberately buried. They stole my money. They stole my voice. They gave it to others. They made millions. I got nothing. And it's not just about the music. S says there's a side of the industry the public never sees, a side where secrets are protected at all costs. She claims rituals happen behind closed doors. Fake friendships mask real control, and people are being used, discarded, or silenced when they no longer cooperate. Artists who refuse to bow down get blackballed or worse. And when S refused, she says the attempts on her life became more aggressive. The names in S's story aren't random. These are people millions admire, but to her, they represent something very different. She says she once trusted Snoop Dogg, thought he had her back, but she now believes he and others conspired to push her out, use her work, and erase her name while profiting off her voice. And then there's LL Cool J. S claims just 2 weeks before this interview, he pulled up outside her home, not once, but twice. They're watching me. They're clocking my time. They know I know too much, she says. These celebrities, S says, are not what they seem, so why speak out after all this time? S says she was told back in 2011 that one day her story would reach the world. But for a decade, nothing. She waited, she stayed silent. Then the opportunity came, a faceless YouTube channel, a way to speak her truth without showing her face. Using AI voices and editors, she realized she could turn years of pain into a powerful, profitable channel that no one could trace directly to her. She's calling it Final Destination Hollywood. And with already monetized channels available, her story can launch making money day one. By choosing to speak out, S has just shaken the image of some of the most recognizable names in entertainment. Her claims, if true, could have serious consequences. She accuses Snoop Dogg of exploitation and deception. She describes LL Cool J as an intimidator, possibly tied to the Puffy case. And she ties Drake, 50 Cent, and Chris Brown into a story of being used, pushed aside, and erased. If her videos gain traction, these celebrities could find themselves under immense pressure. Questions will rise, comments will flood, fans will dig deeper. The public will want to know if any of it is true. And the silence surrounding S's story might not hold forever. She's escalating everything. The more views, the more eyes on her truth, and the more likely it becomes that someone may try again to stop her. But this time, she says she's ready. She's not alone. And she believes this story was never meant to be hidden forever. S's story is just beginning. If what she says is true, it could change how we see some of the biggest names in the industry. Her voice was buried for years. Now she's taking it back. Follow for more. This is just the start.